Excited to partner with Mark McDonald, so I'm going to hand the rest of the webinar over to Mark so that he can take us through this important first week of the detox and talk us through. So Mark, my good friend, are you there?
I am here, Steve. Thanks so much for that intro, and thanks for running these webinars with me. And everyone, welcome to you. You know, we officially started on Thursday, and I look at that was our intro, and it was our semi-launch, but tonight is really the launch of our 8-week series. And this is going to be individual coaching designed to set you up to win. And just like what Steve said, is, you know, the first point is your reference points, because these webinars, we can only cover so much information. And many times you're at home and you're taking notes and things can come up and you're going to say, hey, you know, I missed some of that. Well, CoreIn8.com is your reference point. And these webinars are going to be designed in a way where you can see week 1, week 2, week 3. So whether you missed one week or whether someone else 3 weeks from now wants to join this challenge with you, be part of this movement with you, you can simply have them start and listen to the first webinar so they're never being lost upon the series. In addition, CoreIn8.com/Facebook. That is the community. So I always love the reference point. Now, what is this series all about? Well, when we look at where you sit right now, and tonight's about detoxing, and it's about how to lose your bloat and own these next 7 days. But it's much more than that. I want you to look at week 1 as a new beginning, new start for you. And there's 3 things that I really want to talk to you about, and 3 concepts before we actually get into the detox plan. On Thursday's night webinar, we talked about the detox plan. I'm going to go over a lot of that information again, but things I didn't talk about Thursday is to really set you up to win, because part of you winning is your mindset. So the first thing I'd like everyone on this webinar to think about, and hopefully you have a piece of pen and paper out here and you're set up to win. I want to open up with the story as we talk about creating your mindset. I have a friend, Shannon Weber, and she's living her 8-week run right now. And Shannon's been a chronic dieter, struggling, and she grew up, and she sent me an email. She shared her story about how she was raised by her grandparents, and they had the feel-good foods, you know, the tacos and the Happy Meals. And then when she became a mom, she would have that same feel-good foods. And she was always struggling with weight. And as some of the concepts I'm going to talk to you about with creating your mindset, Shannon heard me talk for months. And she said she never felt deserving of knowing her why or 1%. It didn't resonate with her. But Shannon has 5 kids. She's married to her husband, Scott, and together as a mixed family have 5 kids. And what she realized is that she needed to make her health a priority for her children. And what she's gone through this journey, and she's 6 weeks into her 8-week plan, and you are starting your day 1 right now, or maybe your day 4 if you started on Thursday. But wherever you sit right now, where Shannon is her family's now down 117 pounds on 110 inches. And the reason why that matters, and we're going to do a whole story on it on my HLN Transformation Challenge show, the 8-week series, New Body, New Life. The reason I want to share with you is because we have all walks of life on this webinar tonight. We have people that are 18, that are 20, that are 25, that are 30, that are 35, that are 40, that are 50, that are 60. Wherever you sit with your health right now, the point is this: is Shannon's story transcends the age generation, because wherever you sit, we all want to take our body and health to the next level. And it's not a question of if you're going to have a tough time as you get older, or if you will. Sometimes people have a tough time when they're 15. I've worked with many young girls trying to understand their body and lacking body confidence. I worked with many men who are in their 20, 21, and they're trying to gain weight, and they're so frustrated that they can't build muscle. Worked with many people after their first child struggling to lose their weight. I worked with many people in their 45, 50 as they start entering menopause, or a man entering andropause, and what used to work's not working anymore. The point I'm making is this: that wherever you sit right now, this runs for you. This 8-week core challenge is for you, and it starts with your mindset. The first thing is this, and I like everyone to do this. If you have a piece of paper, you have to decide what your goals are. You have to decide them. Maybe your goal is to lose weight. Maybe your goal is to burn body fat. Maybe your goal is to have more energy. Maybe it's to build muscle. Whatever your goal is, you got to decide it right now. So I want you to write that out. What is your goal? What's your long-term goal? And what's your short-term goal of these 8 weeks? I had a lady, and she said her goal is to lose 60 pounds. And she's given herself a year, which I love. And she said, but I'm only down 22 pounds after 8 weeks. Only. There's no but in that, and there's no only in that. She's down 22 pounds in 8 weeks. She has 38 more pounds to lose to achieve her goal that she set herself up to win for next year. So you gotta decide your goal, and then just like she did, you have to define what that is. Many people decide a goal, but they never define their goal. They never say, they say they want to lose weight, but they never put numbers on what that actual is. What does that mean to actually lose weight? If you want to build muscle, what does that mean? If you want more energy, what is your energy now? Is it a 5 out of 10? Where do you want to take it? If you want to lower your stress, what's your stress level now? Where do you want to improve it to? So you have to decide and define your goals throughout this process. And as you do this, I want you to post this in the Facebook community. Second is you got to know your why. My background as an athlete growing up, used exercise, and my why was I want to be a better soccer player, and I got a full soccer scholarship. Then as my soccer career ended and I got into the gym world and I became fitness modeling, my goal was to have the most incredible physique. I was driven from that. And those were good whys for me at that moment. But the why that really became my anchor, and this only resonates, obviously, if you're not a parent, won't resonate with you, but me, I understood what I got from my health. As an athlete, I used exercise to stay lean, which failed me long term. As a fitness model, I used dieting and restriction to stay lean, which made me crave food and look great but not feel great. And what I realized is that what I really get from my health is I want to be the best that I can be. I want to have that energy when I come home after a long day to have a conversation with my wife. I want to have that extra hour to be able to play with my 9-year-old son Hunter, so I have that. I want to be the best that I can be, whoever I communicate with. So whether you're a parent or not a parent, whether you're married or not married, the question I ask you is this: your why has to be that thing that when the rubber meets the road and when you're having a tough moment, that you pull yourself up and make your health happen. And that's exactly why Shannon Weber took on her plan, so that she could be what she needed to be for her kids. So wherever you sit in your life, you need to decide and define your goals. You need to know your why and work on that, and ask yourself, make sure that when you do fall off, because you will, what's strong enough? What's that anchor to pull you back on? And then the last thing is focus on 1%. And I love that as a fitness model. A lot of times I would be in the gym and I would be lifting like 50-pound dumbbell presses. And my next step would be, okay, you'd want to go the next day to 55 pounds. But you can't make that jump of 5 pounds from one workout to the next. And I was introduced to the whole concept of small incremental changes. And as we look at our body evolving, that's what it is, 1% at a time. I want everyone to imagine yourself right now. 1% at a time. Imagine where you'd be 365 days from now if you improved 1% at a time. Now we're making a run here. You are making an 8-week run. You are rocking this core challenge and you're going for it. But I also want us to remember that in life, as long as you're moving forward, as long as you're ahead of the curve 8 weeks from now than when you are right now, you're winning. It's not just always weight. It's going to be your inches. It's going to be how you look. It's going to be your body fat. It's going to be your energy. It's going to be your lack of sugar cravings. It's going to be how you minimize your stress and master your sleep. And that's going to empower you 1% at a time. Now, when I was 7 years old, I had a very difficult time forming words. I couldn't speak. And there was discussion as I finished first grade that I was going to be held back. And it's interesting. I wrote, as I'm writing my next book, I talked this story about 1%. And 1% was introduced to me when I was 7. Because I couldn't form words, I couldn't really communicate with people. I was made fun of. People made fun of because I couldn't pronounce my name. I was made fun of with that. And I felt frustrated with the world. And as a 41-year-old man now, I can remember that so vividly. And I can also remember my mom coming to me and telling me they wanted to hold me back, and I didn't want to be left behind. I wanted to be with my friends. I wanted to be part of what this is about. That's why we understand the importance of a community, because I didn't want to feel like I was alone. And she said, Mark, do you want to keep going to second grade? I go, yes, I'll do anything, Mom. So she called the top speech therapist in Northern California, and I got full speech therapy for the next 3 years. And I worked endless hours daily, 2 hours a day, repetitive training, tons of frustration, many tears. But our motto for 3 years so I could learn how to speak was 1% at a time. And when I got to 5th grade, I could speak. I could say my name. I wasn't being left behind anymore. I didn't feel like I couldn't learn anymore. I was excelling. And that's why I want everyone to understand right now that wherever you sit with your health, with your body, as we talk about your detox and your ignite and your thrive and over this 8-week journey, I want you to understand that you have to know that wherever you sit 1% at a time, you will get there. And we're all here together. Weekly, we're here. Daily in the community. And together, you will achieve your goal permanently. Okay, so that is your mindset. Now, the next one is when we're making your 8-week run. I want everyone to think back to a time. Think back of when you feel you excel at something. When you excel at something, you make that run, right? Like you go for it. Like momentum builds momentum. And that's what a run is. A run in life is pushing hard and challenging yourself. But we can't run all the time. If you do a sprint, guess what happens? You got to rest eventually, right? Well, you recover. And recovery is more calmness and consistency. Not backslap, not regress, but recover. So to me, life's about runs and recovery. And I've coached over 40,000 clients, over millions of people, live the plan I created, and what I've always seen is that truly taking your body to another level is making a run. Why does a run matter so much? Why does why tonight matter so much for you? Because progress fuels motivation. As you progress, you're motivated. As you become motivated, it builds momentum. As your momentum grows, you create consistency. As consistency grows, it inspires confidence. And as confidence builds, it delivers results. And that's the whole thing when we start looking at this, that progress fuels motivation. Motivation builds momentum. Momentum creates consistency. Consistency inspires confidence, and confidence delivers results. And that's what this is. Your run, pushing hard, challenging yourself, leveraging the detox to build that motivation, create that momentum, and then that consistency drives you into the ignite phase and thrive phase. And then you will move into a form of progression mode, a recovery where there's some calmness and consistency, and then you may make a run again. This is why this run matters. As you do this, you will know that you can take your body and health to another level, that you can implement strategies that will unlock your body's full potential, and you can be your very best. Now, part of making this run and part of having the right mindset is making sure that you're eating in threes. There's a foundational piece here. And as you start with your detox and you move to your ignite, and then when you're going to thrive, your appetite's going to continue to increase. Now, my goal is not to be scientific on these webcasts. My goal is to coach you to win, to understand that there's a root physiological baseline that you can build from. So I want everyone to think eating in threes. A baby feeds from the moment they wake to the moment they sleep. They eat every 3 hours, and they eat a balance of protein, fat, carbohydrates, which is breast milk or formula. And the reason why they do that is because their body, just like your body, creates ATP. Every time you skip a meal, your blood sugar crashes, you burn muscle, and that slows down your metabolism. That then makes you overeat, which spikes your blood sugar and stores fat. Anyone can lose weight. Right now, tonight, you can lose weight on any type of so-called diet because it's based upon deprivation and restriction. I lived on a ketogenic diet, a high-fat, high-protein diet, no carbs for many, many years. I've coached 75% of the top fitness models in the world, and what I've realized is that people can starve themselves and still look great. But guess what? They struggle. I grew up watching my mom, chronic dieter, lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight. Every time she gained weight back, she was heavier than she was before she started, yo-yoing back and forth. So wherever you sit with your health, the reality is this: you need to stabilize your blood sugar by eating in threes. That balances your hormone. How do you do that? You eat every 3 hours, a balance of protein, fat, carbohydrates. Now, what we've done is we've made the detox, ignite, and thrive phase plug and play. So basically, you don't even have to worry about stabilizing your blood sugar. You just know the plan does that for you. Now, when your blood sugar is balanced, then that burns that burns fat, protects your muscle, increases your energy, and takes away your sugar cravings. And every pound of stored body fat that you have has 3,500 stored calories. So when we start looking at what happens when your blood sugar is stable, this is it. So your stored fat, that 3,500 stored fat calories, every pound gets released in your bloodstream, and then with the right exercises, you activate your engine and diversify your exercise, you burn that fat up in your muscle. Fat's released in the bloodstream, muscle absorbs that, and fat is burned as energy. And the leaner you get, the more meals you eat. So through this process, you might start with 5 meals, then you move up to 6, you might even move up to 7 meals, and then what do? You start increasing the size of the meals. But initially, you're better eating more meals than less meals. Now, if you say, Mark, what if I'm not hungry? Well, then you just eat a half a meal, and guess what's going to happen? Because your blood sugar is balanced, because you're eating in threes, and you're eating every 3 hours, your body will use your stored fat for the excess energy that it needs. And the leaner you get, the less stored fat you have, that's when your body needs more fuel, because your body is a refuel as it goes machine. So I know tonight is about the detox, and that's what I'm going to dive into right now. But throughout this 8-week coaching series, because we really launched tonight, is I need you to really focus on, first off, remember that Shannon Weber, this plan and this series transcends all ages, all goal types. Number 2, your mindset. That you need to define and decide your goals. Know your why. Understand it's 1% at a time. Realize that right now you're making your run. That you are challenging yourself, that you're going to progress. And then in 8 weeks, you'll have a moment of recovery. Not falling off, but recovery. And then maybe you run again. And that throughout this whole plan, it's based upon physiology, the root of physiology and how your body creates energy by eating in threes, balancing your hormones by stabilizing your blood sugar. There you have it. Those are the core principles of what this challenge is all about, to set you up to win, not for 8 weeks, but for the rest of your life. Now, let's talk about detoxing. So I covered a lot of this on the webinar on Thursday, but I want to revisit it now, because many of you may not have been on that webinar, and you'll be able to replay that and you can listen to this again. But basically, we are in week 1, and phase 1 is a detox. Now, I want you to think back to a moment in time when you had that excess bloat. Think back to it. Maybe whenever you do a diet or you eat cleaner, you drop those 10 pounds. Anytime that you seem to drop weight quickly, and I think holidays would be a great thing. Imagine the holidays. You probably have a little extra. January 1st, you get a little motivated, you eat a little cleaner, and you drop that excess weight within a week. That's that inflated weight that our body naturally carries of bloat. So your detox phase, there's 3 main purposes to it, 3 steps. We're going to cut, we're going to clean, and we're going to flush. And the whole goal here is to lose that entire amount of excess weight, get rapid result in a safe, effective way based upon blood sugar, so that you build the momentum, and then we're going to clean your body out and ignite it so you can turn into a fat-burning machine starting next week when you dive into your ignite phase. So when we talk about number 1, you got to cut. So I want you to think about cutting the foods that cause your bloating. So there's many foods out there that make your body hold fluid. And when your body has inflammation, it slows down your abilities to burn fat. It slows down your ability to exercise effectively. It slows down how your body functions metabolism-wise. So the main foods you're going to be cutting are going to be gluten, soy, cheese and yogurt, refined sugar, sugar sweeteners, salt, grains, soda, alcohol, coffee, and tea, all right there on your screen. Now, I'm only going to cover a couple here, but gluten. Why do you cut gluten? Now, that is found, it gives bread that elasticity we love. The problem with gluten, it's a complex protein that's difficult for your body to break down, so we're cutting that out. Soy. Estrogen causes an increase of estrogen, the hormone estrogen, which is a fat-storing, bloating hormone. So we're taking soy out. Cheese and yogurt. Cheese and yogurt, primarily there's 2 types. Cheese and yogurt, I just did a segment on this on Headline News, is that most cheese is processed, loaded with lactose. Now the core shake is different because powder protein is different, and it's only it's got only 3% lactose in it. So it's totally different and it's not processed, super clean. But cheese and yogurt, normal cheese and normal yogurt, cut. Refined sugar, every gram of carb and sugar Processed sugar especially makes your body hold on to fluid. Sugar sweeteners. Besides stevia, they're fake sugars, double sugar molecules, so they cause gas and bloating. Salt, as I shared, salt, even Himalaya salt. It's not processed, but Himalaya salt's still salt, so it still makes your body hold fluid. Grains. Obviously, quinoa, oatmeal, brown rice, they're fantastic. But what happens is complex carbs are harder to break down, so they make you hold as well. Soda, I think we all understand the challenges of that. Now, if you're drinking 5 sodas a day right now, we want to cut them out. Now, if you say, Mark, I got to at least do 1, you can do it. Just understand that your results, you're not fully cutting it out, but it's okay. Moderation if you need to be. Ideally, cut it out completely. Alcohol, 7 days, you can do this. Coffee and tea, and ideally for the next 8 weeks. Coffee and tea. Now, the only exception is this. If you're having headaches, it could be because your adrenal gland is addicted to the caffeine. It needs that for energy. So you can add 1 cup back in. Coffee is very acidic. You're better off to do tea, like an herbal tea that maybe has some green tea in it, some caffeine inside. That'd be positive there. But ideally, we cut. What we're doing is we're cutting the food that makes you hold water. Then we replace it with clean. Now, before I dive into clean, the one more thing we cut, and I know many of you say, well, wow, are you serious? Is your exercise. So I want you to think about when you're sore after you exercise. That soreness is inflammation. Now, it's positive, but it's still inflammation. During our detox phase, we want to flush that out. Now, on Headline News, we did a segment on exercise, and Michael Anos, the host of News Now, said to me, Mark, how many times should we take a week off? And realistically, you should be taking a week off of your exercise after every 3 months because your body needs it. We think that exercise, I did this as a soccer player, I used exercise to stay lean. There is no workout that can outwork a bad diet. Let me repeat that. There is no workout that can outwork a bad diet. So exercise is not your foundation. Exercise, when implemented correctly, though, turns your body into a fat-burning machine, which is why we bring it back in. And we don't just bring it back in, we bring it back in full throttle in your Ignite phase. But the light exercises you can do during your detox phase. If you want to walk, that helps. Like light walking and stretching and massage during your detox phase is fantastic. The whole goal of these next 7 days is to get your body, get rid of the inflammation and get it primed up to ignite and burn fat. And the average weight loss we've seen in the detox phase is 10 pounds. Obviously, it depends on where you're starting at. Some's less, some's more, some's less, but that's the average we're seeing. Now, step 1's a cut. Step 2's to clean. And we're going to clean, we're going to add a small selective of clean foods. And remember, blood sugar stabilization, we're eating in 3. So that means every meal has a balance of protein, fats, and carbohydrates. Now, when we talk about lean proteins, we're also cutting saturated fat right now. So your beefs, your porks, like a pork tenderloin, a lamb, that adds back in the ignite phase, but in the detox phase, really only fresh, non-processed meats. Bison, chicken, egg whites, hemp, lean fish, no shellfish, just for 7 days. Really salmon, and when you have salmon, you don't add fat to that option. Turkey and venison, these are your lean proteins. Now, if you're plant-based, hemp is fantastic for you. If you're plant-based, Warrior Blend is a phenomenal meal replacement or shake that you can use if you're plant-based. Now, if you're not plant-based, the powder that we recommend, obviously, is Core, and there's reasons why. GMO-free, gluten-free, soy protein-free, no artificial flavors, super, super clean. And in addition, because of TrueCell, the triple molecule micellar casing with a combination of the whey concentrate, it is the best stable blood sugar stabilization protein powder on the market. And I'm a national ambassador for the American Diabetes Association, and the reason why I can say that is because when I see the combination of Core and what it does for blood sugar, to me personally, it's the best on the market right now to stabilize blood sugar. So you're going to add the Core shake in between. Now, many people say, Mark, why are we doing shakes if we're trying to be clean? See, there's part of a detox and there's part of living, 99% of the population, they're just not eating 5 to 6 real whole food meals because life shows up and they have an intention, but they can't. So that's why I love shakes and I love powder proteins because they're super clean and they work so well in those in-betweens. In addition, what we also know is your body needs protein because protein affects your blood sugar hormone, glucagon, which raises your blood sugar, and it provides your body with nitrogen, which is crucial to increase your muscle mass, and your muscle controls your metabolism. The problem is it's not as easy to break down. Protein gets broken down in your stomach, and it's not simple for everybody. But what we have seen and what study has supported is that if you ate whole protein every other meal and then you did a powder protein, so for example, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, whole protein, shake, mid-morning, mid-afternoon, late night, that gives your digestive system an easier breakdown and digestive process. Because a shake that's already in a liquid format is easier and more easily absorbed on your body. So the shake connected with those in-between meals is phenomenal to help your metabolism rock and detox your body and ignite as we move into that next phase and thrive. Now, the boost is the cleanse. And there's 3 things you want to look at when you're detoxing your body. 3 main digestive parts. You have your liver, your kidneys, and your colon. Milk thistle for over 2,000 years have been shown to clean out your liver. So in the boost, the cleanse boost, we have milk thistle. In addition, and look at your liver as your body's clearinghouse. 99% of everything you put in your mouth has to go through that. Then you look at your kidneys as like a pasta filter, taking stuff out and sorting everything. Cranberry extract cleans out that. And then look at your colon and this is probably not a great visual, but a garbage truck. So it cleans everything out. And that's what Senna extracts for, a natural herbal laxative. The combination of the 3, phenomenal. Now, if you need an additional fiber, psyllium husk in a capsule or powder form is also great. I recommend psyllium husk to everyone, about 10 grams morning and night. So if you feel you need some additional fiber, you can add that psyllium husk. If you feel like you don't have any challenges with your bowel movements currently, then the detox alone is perfect. Now, one warning here. The detox in certain digestive systems can be aggressive. My wife, Abby, she has a very sensitive stomach. So she does half a packet. So you please be cautious with it. It's a phenomenal product. When you look at the affordability of it and the effectiveness of it and the quality of it, you're not finding another cleanse and detox product that clean, that's still honoring eating in 3s, obviously, and everything. But be cautious with it based on your digestive system. Some people, a packet works great. Some people need to start with a half a packet. Learn your body and adjust because it's that good. Okay, now some of the other ones. So we know you're clean. We know your powder proteins. You know your cleanse. You might add your psyllium husk. Now you got your carbs, clean fruits and veggies. So no complex carbs, as I shared, just simple ones. And I want you to avoid the calorie-dense veggies, the beans, the corns, the peas, the potatoes. Really simple because why? Easier to digest, easier during your detox phase. So any fruit and any veggie, just not the calorie-dense vegetables. And then we look at your fats. Avocado, raw nuts, natural nut butters, flaxseed, olive oil, really clean. Really just follow this list. And then your free foods, any type of salt-free herb or spice, so herbs like oregano or basil, spices, like garlic could be considered an herb too, but cinnamon, and then leafy greens like lettuce and spinach and kale and collard greens. And dive into, there's a phenomenal recipe collection. And after the webinar tonight, what I'll do is I'll post that link. So if you need approved, like detox, ignite, and thrive approved recipes so that you don't get bored with your food, every single week on the headline on my HLN series, we do 5 top recipes of the week. And where there's a full recipe Facebook group that you can dive into for new ideas to make egg whites taste great. So this is all about eating clean, but still making it taste good. And in that Facebook group that we just have, the corn8.com/Facebook, I just launched a cool, from Kate Flatt, a cool core shake recipe. Now, once you've cleaned, once you cut, and now you've cleaned, now we flush. And when we flush, we're flushing out all of the toxins. It's very simple. It's good old H2O. So you want to look at where you start. Women, 8 to 12 ounces, which is going to be 8 to 12 glasses. So anywhere from 2 to 3 up to 4 liters a day. And men, you want to do anywhere from 12 to 20 glasses a day. And that's going to be anywhere from 3 to 5 liters or 4 to 6 liters a day. You want to flush it out because when you cut, you clean, and you flush, you clean out everything. And in addition, you help your digestive system really turbocharge. Cramping during a detox, a lot of times is caused from lack of water. Now, if you're only drinking a glass a day, push yourself in a good way. Now, if you say, hey, I don't like water, like Stevie Jones, he told me he doesn't like that much water. So he adds some lemon or lime to it. So add some natural things that are going to add some flavor to it that don't have sugar additives. Stevia is another thing you can add to it, but lemon or fresh lemon or lime adds a little flavor to it that keeps you in the game. Okay, so now when we look at your cutting, your cleaning, and your flushing, now the only thing less in your stabilizing your blood sugar is we got to look at your portion sizes in your exchange program. So I need all the women on the webinar to lift up your right arm. Lift up your right hand. Look at your palm. That's the size of protein. I need all the men to lift up both palms. Look at your 1.5 to 2 palms. That's your protein. I need ladies to make 1 fist. That's the size of your carbs. I need men to make 2 fists. That's the size of your carbs. And I need the women to make a big fat, like a big thumb. Sorry, not a big fat, but a big thumb. That's the size of your fat, a full thumb. And then I need men make a super thumb. Look at the meat of your thumb, kind of draw something around it. That's going to be your fat. Those are your portion sizes. Now you can measure. Women are about 3 ounces, protein and carbs. Men are going to be 5 ounces. You can measure it, or you can just go off your portion sizes. The key is this. You got to eat in threes, which is you got to eat within an hour upon waking, preferably as soon as possible, eat within an hour upon bedtime, and you want to be satisfied after every meal, never full. If you're full, your blood sugar spiked. And you want to be hungry when it's time to eat, not starving. If you're starving, you waited too long to eat. And that's how you manage your blood sugar. And the leaner you get, you shift from 5 meals to 6 meals. Now, some of you might need 6 meals right now. Add a third shake right before bed. If you get up to 7 meals, well, then you can start increasing the portion sizes. But wait till you get 7 meals first. Now, many of you might be saying, Mark, I'm not even hungry when I wake up. Trust me. Do a half a meal. You could do 1 egg white, 1 raspberry, and an almond. And that would be a meal. And what I guarantee you within a week, as long as you're not full, you're going to start feeling hungry when you wake up because your body is a refuel as it goes machine. And that sets you up. So here's your detox plan for women. As I shared, I've already given you the boundaries on how to eat. Breakfast, 3 egg whites, your veggies and some nuts. And you can use, so any protein can be exchanged for another protein, any fruit or veggie for another fruit or veggie, and then any fat for another fat that's on the list. Your mid-morning and your mid-afternoon are going to be your core shake. Your lunch is a protein you choose, a dinner is a protein you choose, and then a bedtime snack would be a core shake. Dive into the Facebook group for additional recipe ideas. So if you're saying you want to learn, we have some amazing detox approved, like egg white banana pancakes. I know, can you believe that? Egg white banana pancakes. But that's detox approved. You can eat clean and get great results. So phenomenal recipes on that. For men, same structure, just bigger portions. So you're eating the same thing, you're just following the portion sizes. And guys, that's how easy this is. It's plug and play, and it sets you up to win. So I want to do a recap here. So when I start looking at where you sit right now in your first week, as you're starting this, you got to remember Shannon Weber. You got to remember that it transcends all ages. Down 117 pounds as a family, 110 inches. Family doing it. Then you have to have the right mindset. You got to decide and define your goals. You got to know your why. You got to focus on 1% improvements. Because imagine where you'll be a year from now with 1% improvements. You'll have that physique. Whatever it is, whatever your goal is, whatever age you are, you will be there. Then you got to know that you're either in a run or recovery. And this is about making your run, challenging yourself and pushing yourself. And this first week builds that momentum that leads to the progress that you want. And then the baseline of this all is not about dieting. It's not about restriction. It's not about starvation. It's about eating in threes. Eating every 3 hours. A little bit of protein, fat, carbohydrates, because that's what physiology has proven to us. And that balances your hormone and stabilizes your blood sugar. And then you dive into your detox plan. And you cut the bloating foods. You add the clean foods. You turbocharge your detox with your cleanse boost. That cleans out your liver, your kidneys, and your colon. And you flush out your toxins with your water. You know your portion sizes, you follow your plan, and you dive into your Facebook group, Core-Innate.com/Facebook, to be part of the community, share recipes, share your stories, and support each other. This is how we kick off our 8-week series. This is how you take your body and health to the next level. And what I want to share with you is this. I want to end with one story. I was just in Dallas this weekend for an event, an 8-week run core event. We did the core challenge. And 2 of my dear friends, Tate and Callie Tinley, were there, young Tate and Callie Tinley, in mid-20s. And their mom, Dana Tinley, is a cancer survivor. And when I look at that family, when I look at the Tinley family, I think of where we sit right now. I look at Dana as a cancer survivor, making her health happen, leading by example, doing wellness forums and groups all over. And then I look at her son Tate and his wife Callie, teaching the same thing and helping people be their very best. No matter that it's a mom and a son, they're all doing it together. That's what this core challenge is all about. Transcends us living it together. I know Tate and Callie are on this webinar. I saw them in Dallas. They're active in the Facebook group. But together, we're going to support each other. And this is your moment. You draw your line in the sand. You understand that you're going to take your body and health wherever you want it to go. And your run starts now. 8 weeks, new body, new life. It launches right now. I'm going to dive right into the Facebook group after this webinar, after Steve wraps it up. I'll be right there. I'm going to answer questions for 20 to 25 minutes, dive into it, and let's ask everything, be engaged, and remember, the transformation starts with you. Journey is just beginning. Steve, back to you, my friend.
Mark McDonald, thank you very much. You've got me